Start recording. Hello, people. Welcome to Main Event Boxing Talk. How are you, Tom?
I'm well, Nathan. How is it over there in England?
Oh, very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so we're all good. Let's talk about the first thing. Let's talk about the Canelo Yildirim card, or just the Canelo Yildirim fight. This fight was what I expected it to be. You know, I didn't expect a great deal from it.
Well, his style, Yildirim's style, was tailor-made for Canelo. He came forward. He didn't throw a lot of punches. He leaned forward and was open for uppercuts, which he landed a few. And he went to the body because of the way he put himself in the shell. He banged him to the body, and then he found a way to get through the gloves. And as soon as he did that, he scored that right hand and put him down. It wasn't much to it. I don't know what to say about it. It wasn't much of a fight. I don't know what Yildirim's fight plan was there, but whatever it was, he just wasn't throwing. I mean, if you're going in for a title, you might as well throw. And I want to just hold on for a second because Spencer's coming
Yeah,
in.
he's just coming up. I'll get his view on it as well.
We'll bring him in on this, but there was just not anything happening. He was walking forward, and that was crazy.
Hello, Spencer.
Is he
Hello,
in
yeah, he's here, but I think his audio's joined. I don't know what.
Yeah, he's joining
Hello,
with
Spencer.
us probably. And so, yeah, his audio's not hooked on yet.
Okay, yeah, it takes a while, then this is it. So it was a strange fight. I mean, we expected him to get blasted out pretty quickly. We even said it, didn't we? In the
Yes, we didn't expect it to go more than 3 or 5 rounds max. But Canelo hadn't had an early knockout in his last few fights, so he's good. He didn't get cut. He didn't get hurt. He had a workout, so he's good to go with Billy Joe as long as Billy Joe doesn't pull out.
Yeah, I'm not even. Hello, Spencer.
His audio's not on yet.
If Spencer leaves and then comes back again, that might be a better idea.
Right. So that's what, it was a tune-up. I mean, here he comes. Not even a tune-up. It was a mandatory.
Yeah.
And what do you expect from the guy? I mean, you looked at the guy. What he lost he recently lost 2 fights and then was off a year, and he just didn't have the pedigree or the knowledge or the technique.
I think the WBC must be. You're on mute, Spencer. So he puts on mute. So I think the WBC needs to look at how they do these rankings. To be absolutely honest, it's disgraceful.
Yeah. I think Mauricio issued something about doing away with some of the rankings.
Hello, Spencer. Welcome to the show.
What's going on?
Hey, Spencer.
Suleiman, I mean, it's funny. Yildirim, I mean, I know how he got to be the mandatory, right? And a lot of them try to bypass like lawsuits, I guess, because Yildirim, when he fought, was it Benavidez when he fought him, or was it Darrell?
Yeah, it was Darrell.
Yeah,
it was Darrell for the mandatory spot. He had got the cut or something, and it was like a questionable way to end the fight. So they was going to do a rematch, right, for the mandatory spot for David to fight David Benavidez. That winner was going to fight David Benavidez, and David Benavidez lost his belt on the scales. So he didn't have the belt.
Yeah, that's right.
He didn't have the belt anymore. So the Yildirim, the Darrell winner, was supposed to fight Benavidez, but that happened. Yildirim got the call for Canelo. Darrell fought Davis. And is that the same Darrell that Yildirim fought? The one that just fought this past weekend?
Yeah.
Right. So he just fought this weekend. Benavidez is going to be fighting in 2 weeks. So
it was Anthony Darrell, I believe.
Yeah, that's the one that fought this weekend.
Right, not Andre, his brother.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how he got to that spot. And It wasn't much of a fight. He lost his last fight, and he wasn't really. He just didn't belong in the ring there. I mean, Canelo had to fight him, so he fought him. But in a
And
way, it wasn't bad for Canelo because he didn't come out injured. He looked good. He got an early stoppage, and next up is Billy Joe if Billy Joe doesn't pull out.
I mean, and think about this. It happened at the end of February, right?
Right.
So you got a little bit over 2 months to for the next fight. That's a short fight. That's a short turnaround, right? Because it's 2 months from now that the fight is happening. So the Billy Joe fight, we're in March, April, and then May. He already had a fight in December. So, like I understand that this fight wasn't going to be a Caleb Plant, Benavidez fight because he's saving those type of fights for May and September where there's a bigger crowd, there's going to be a bigger audience, the whole Cinco de Mayo,
Right.
Mexican Independence Day stuff. So he'll save the bigger fights for those dates. This one was a knockover. He only got a chance to fight one time in 2020, wanted to fight 2 times. So, he's trying to get money. He wants to fight fighting 3 times, possibly 4 times this year. That's his goal, he said. February, May, September, then December, maybe.
When is Canelo going to stop beating up British fighters? I mean, come on, it's getting quite depressing now, to be honest.
Well, Yildirim ain't British, though. But
It's Turkish.
I know he's Turkish, but stop beating up, he's beaten 6 British fighters now.
Excuse me, Nathan, he's a world champion. Okay.
He said he wasn't gonna fight no more Mexicans after he beat up on Chavez Jr.
Well, what about GG? Do you think he'll fight him in May or September?
Who?
Canelo.
Fight who in May? I mean September. Who you said?
GGG or in May or September. He could fight GGG after Billy Joe.
Pointless fight.
Well, that'll be September. Yeah, I mean, but what will Triple G do in the meantime?
He'll be defending his belt against whoever.
And honestly speaking, he said he wanted to unify at 168. So the goal would be Caleb Plant next. So Caleb Plant might get another knockover. They should have him fight. Maybe they should have him fight Darrell.
I don't know. I thought Darrell won that fight over the weekend.
I mean, he should have probably got the nod.
Yeah, I thought he scored more. He had better ring generalship. I don't know why that became a draw. I don't understand it the way I was looking at it. It wasn't a draw to me.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I mean, Davis didn't look like, that's his last name, right? Davis?
Yeah.
Ron. He didn't look like he was winning too many of them rounds. Like the rounds he did win, they was just winning. I mean, there was a lot of close rounds, so I guess, maybe, I don't know, like what the judges might have been looking for, what they were looking at.
I have no idea. I really don't know how that decision went to a draw. If you go back and watch that fight, yeah, he did some good counterpunching here and there, but he was just outclassed, outthrown.
We've got quite a bit to cover, so we better move
Okay,
on.
where would you like to go now, Nathan?
We're talking about, did anybody watch the one fight in the Joseph Parker undercard, the Hemi Ahoyo against Julius Wong?
Yes. Which one do you want to talk about?
The Julius Wong one, very briefly.
I ain't get a chance to see that one.
Oh man, you got to see that. This guy's a giant Hemi, and he got clocked. He got clocked with this guy with an 18-24 and
Julian Long, yeah. He's terrible. We all know who Julius Long is.
Well, just like Zhang ran out of gas, Hemi ran out of gas.
Yeah. What I thought was hilarious was the way Hemi got put down. Then he knocked him out, and he's not going anywhere quick. Hemi, at all.
No, not like that.
No
way. Not on his back like that. No way.
Right. We'll move on to the main event. I thought Joseph Parker was a bit timid in his performance. He did enough to win, but it wasn't convincing.
Yeah, he's been looking like that in his past few fights to me.
He's gotten into a pattern, I've noticed, where he'll come on, he'll get inside, he'll throw a couple of body punches and try to get to the head, and then clutch. You know,
Yeah,
he's doing
yeah.
a lot, coming in, throwing to the body, and grabbing a lot of the time. And I don't know why he's doing that. Uh, I mean, he's gotten into this way of fighting. I don't know if it's safer for him like that to be on the inside of some of these guys. Granted, Junior Fa was big and he had long arms and power from the outside. But I've
And
just
I mean, and the dudes that he has been fighting, not to cut you off, Tom, like when he fought Joshua, he kind of, I don't know, like with the Joshua fight, I think the refs kind of got him out of the rhythm because like every time he went inside, the ref kind of like broke it up or whatever.
right.
So like that might have stopped him from, because the Dylan White fight, it looked like he didn't really put his foot on the pedal enough. This fight, he was, I guess he don't seem like he has that killer instinct that like, I got this guy, I'm winning, or I need to win. Let me impress. Let me like take it up a notch.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like he has that, but he has a new trainer now. He's supposedly going to have, he fired his old trainer. I don't know if he has a new one yet, but he fired his old trainer. So maybe that might spark something in him.
There's a big problem here because obviously Kevin Barry's based in Las Vegas and you get quality sparring in Las Vegas, don't you? So he's going to spend more time in New Zealand. So where's the improvement going to come from?
Well, if he might, I mean, he's supposed to be fighting Chisora next. So maybe he'll have like a British trainer and get some sparring over there in the UK or something, because he's supposedly going to fight Chisora in May. So
yeah, that again, Chisora's been recycled more times, hasn't he? He's been recycled.
Well,
yeah,
in his last two fights.
You said what about Chisora?
I thought he looked good in his last. Didn't he win his last two fights?
Yeah,
he lost, didn't he? Did he lose to? He lost to Usyk, right?
Yeah, he lost to Usyk. It was a good performance they put in. But I think
it was all right, but
if Joseph Parker fights like that, then Chisora's got a chance. But I'd expect Parker to do enough to win.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, Derek Chisora is kind of a dangerous fight for, not dangerous like, well, I'm not worried about him being knocked out by Chisora because seems like Parker got like a tough type of chin or something.
Yeah.
I know White put him down, but
well, Parker's a tough guy. He's very solid.
Right. So I'm not really worried about whether or not Chisora will stop him like that. But, like if it's a battle and it's in the UK, like the way Chisora might come on, that might make the judges side with him. It's a kind of a risky fight for Joseph Parker, especially if it's in May and he's getting rid of a trainer. He doesn't have like that much time to get a new trainer.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, you're right. He's been taking it up a half a notch and not a whole notch. You'll see him get aggressive and then hold. And I think he's playing it safe because he doesn't want to lose a fight so he could stay in contention.
Right. Or that thing with Dylan White, like, he'll be aggressive and get caught with something, get put on his butt, and that loses like 2 rounds.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll be down 2 rounds by getting something like that, even if you're not hurt.
Well, Forrest went down 3 times. He went down in the first, second, and third round and got up. And what was it, a draw?
Which one you said?
Forrest versus Zhang.
Yeah, it was a draw. Yeah,
I only seen the Parker fight.
It was a draw.
So.
Now watch that, because he gets put on his butt 3 times, first, second, and third round, and he just battles back. And by the end, he almost takes out Zhang.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out.
Yeah.
All right, so those two. Well, Hemi is not ready for prime time.
No, not at all.
Zhang might not be ready for prime time. He fought. Who did he fight? Forrest, right?
Fury Forrest, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Forrest is an all right competitor, but like if you a contender and you have him down a few times, you shouldn't really let him come back. That shouldn't be a fight that should be close if you have him down 3 times early.
Right. Well, you got to see Forrest held tough on that one. It was interesting.
Yeah. I forgot who he fought because he fought one of them American prospects not too long ago, and he gave a good show in that fight.
That's
too,
right.
Forrest.
Right, he did.
Jermaine Franklin, that was it, Jermaine Franklin.
Yeah,
Right. Franklin. That's him.
He lost the decision, but it looked like he won, I thought.
Yeah.
It was he gave a good fight. That's what I was saying about him. Not that Forrest is a bum, but if you have him ahead like that, you should really be able to like at least coast enough that but he's a game veteran, so you gotta see the fight.
Yeah.
There's a fight coming on in a few minutes.
Right.
On NBC. Anyway,
It's from Puerto Rico. From Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's a Cotto Promotions fight.
Wow. Shall we move on?
That Ustinov fight is a black tie affair.
I didn't know
Really?
that.
It's a black tie event. I was like, wow, they getting all exclusive with the fight. Yeah, he's fighting in the 8-rounder in Miami or something like
He's
that, right?
fighting a guy called Terrell Jamal Woods, who I'm familiar with. He's fought Dominic Gwynn and Kevin Johnson at one time, I believe.
He's got a lot of losses. He's got a record of 24, 47, and 8 draws.
Yeah. But he's not like a complete bum.
Now, let me ask you, when is it that you think that a guy with a record like that should be still sanctioned to fight in fights? Is there like a time that you think like, okay, this guy should not, he ain't gonna win, so why we,
But his record is really not that bad when you look at it, really. It's not like, like an Erno Jerja or anyone like that. But he definitely won't win.
Listen, they got some dudes that got some like bugged out looking records. Darnell Boone is a guy that come to mind.
Yeah.
Right. He fought Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev, and Adonis Stevenson. He beat Adonis Stevenson. He dropped Andre Ward and he dropped Kovalev. So like, he was the dude that he rematched Kovalev. I think they did a rematch. Him and Kovalev did a rematch too. And Kovalev beat him up. But
to be honest, looking at this guy's record, looking at Ustinov's record, his record ain't too clever either. He hasn't been the same since he lost to Bullet. And when he lost to Emmanuel Char, he's taken loss after loss. But obviously, they've been against top contenders. But
Ustinov is lucky as hell to be headlining a show.
He sure is.
Especially in the United States. He is better be counting his blessings that he got somebody to be willing to pay him to headline a show.
But he's 44 now. I mean, it's not like when he
exactly
when he was
and
he wasn't that good.
Right, and he's not in his prime. He's not even. I don't know. Maybe there is a huge backing or wherever he's going to be fighting out of. Maybe they have like a big community.
Yeah.
What is Ustinov? Ukrainian?
No, he's from Russia.
He's from
okay. So, maybe they got some Russians down in Florida that'll come out to see him.
It doesn't make sense. Who's the promoter?
Promoter is, let me have a look.
Oh man, there's some black tie event stuff. I was just
Joseph Henry Revolta. Is that Joseph Revolta's brother?
Who knows?
Henry Revolta Promotion.
Don't know.
It might be, but they're trying to do a bunch of these black tie events. The promoter here, I was just reading an article on, I think Fight News or Bring News or something. One of those. Oh, listen.
Yeah.
I know we didn't put it on, but they found footage of your boy, Nathan.
Lovejoy?
Yep.
Yeah,
They
I've seen.
found
Yeah,
footage. They found footage. Yeah, boy.
it's
In
terrible,
Mexico, right?
terrible.
Yup. And the Mexicans
Yeah,
like,
we saw it already. We saw it.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's
Well,
find the next
that
thing.
was funny. Anyway, what's next?
we
Uh,
talked about Terrell and Davis. Why don't we go to Canelo and Saunders?
I thought, well, I thought we was talking about that, but yeah.
we can go to the Shields unification, and then we'll talk about that.
Oh, whatever you want. Yeah, right. There's some duplicates here.
We got
Yeah,
Chris
Shields.
will be fighting Marie Eve Decare. This is for the super welterweight to unify the super welterweight division.
I'll be chatting with a few people over in the UK. They really hate Clarissa Shields over there.
Why?
I have no idea.
Like for real, like it's funny because I see the articles go up like she think like she's cocky. She Muhammad Ali, but for a female, like I'm the greatest. And like she even said it, she's like nobody else called Muhammad Ali the greatest. Muhammad Ali called himself the greatest. And he kept saying it until other people said, okay, he's the greatest. Like, after he kept saying it and proving it, but it wasn't nobody else that said it. Ali started calling himself that. But she's like, you get mad at me for saying the same thing that Ali said, but you praise him for it. Like the critics used to call him the Louisville Lip because he talked too much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
So they wasn't like praising Muhammad Ali. They thought he should shut up. And,
I remember when, I don't know how old you are, but I was about 12 or 13, I was around 12 when that fight went on. And I remember listening to it on the radio, and everybody thought Sonny Liston was going to kill him, right? And it was the biggest shock that anyone experienced at that point, because everybody saw Liston like destroy Patterson, and everybody in New York loved Patterson. You know? And it was just shocking how he just pummeled Patterson. And then
Yeah, Karen seems to have gone dead.
keep repeating something and you back it up, and eventually you're right. People will say it.
Yeah, because people say that about Floyd because he keeps saying he TBE or whatever. I'm like, all right. I personally think Floyd is good. I think he's great or whatever the case is. But I wouldn't necessarily call him the greatest ever because I would like to see him fight certain people. Like, he had a close one against Oscar De La Hoya. Some people say he could have been counted. Like if certain judges was judging the fight in a certain way, they could have called that fight for Oscar.
Yeah, and Castillo, the first
Castillo fight, yeah. So, this Zab Judah was giving him a run for his money in the fight until he took it over. So, there's ways to get to him.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but then he hit him in the balls. Remember that? That was
and that's so funny because I told people, I'm like, Floyd really should have lost. Floyd's team should have been disqualified for that fight because they all jumped in the ring. Right after Zab Judah hit him in the nuts. Every one of them in that corner jumped in the ring and started going after Zab Judah and Zab Judah's corner. And then Zab Judah's corner came in the ring, and then they had to come in there with the police.
That's an automatic disqualification.
Yeah, that's the reason why, right? Because Zab Judah people came in the ring. But if they wouldn't have came in and it was just Floyd Mayweather's people, they could have got a DQ.
Well, anytime I hear of Zab Judah, I think of two words: Costa Sue.
Cedric the Entertainer had a joke about that fight, like when Zab Judah had the fight. He's like, the way he got up at the fight and pointed at the ref, he was like, and then went back down. He said the way he looked at the ref, he was like, he told the ref something like, don't ever play with matches, and then fell back down. Right. Like, listen, I'm gonna show you listen, when we hang up, I'm gonna put the clip of Cedric's thing on there.
Check it out. We're remiss. We never discussed Leon Spinks.
So
You know
Oh
that?
yeah.
Kind of a reason for that.
Uh, and it is. So Spencer,
Yeah.
do you remember when he won the title?
I mean, I was a kid, but I remember the news. Like I can't clearly remember the fight, but I do know that around that time, because I think Sugar Ray and them just came from winning that past Olympics that just happened. Leon Spinks was part of that Olympic team.
That was
That just
76. Yeah.
right. That was part like him, his brother. Sugar wasn't Sugar Ray on that team too, right? Sugar
Yeah.
Ray was on
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That was like one of the greatest Olympic teams,
And I
to
I
this
saw
day.
those matches. I saw them all win their titles. But the thing about Leon was by that time Muhammad had severe illness,
Yeah.
and Leon was just busier. That's all.
Yeah. They had the whole, wasn't that the one, wasn't I think this is it, if I'm not mistaken. There was some controversy about Leon Spinks having something in his drink.
There's this, that, and the other thing. Ali was just slow. He was
No,
already.
I got that, but what there some controversy about something in his drink or something? He had some
That
type of,
was with the Hawk, Aaron Pryor.
oh, that was prior. Okay, against Alexis well.
Yeah.
All right, that was that one. All right, yeah.
Yeah, but it
Because
was sad because after he lost to then he got pitted with these guys. He was brought along too fast and put in against really destructive people.
who's that? Spinks.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Coetzee like flattened him cold, and so did a couple of other guys after that.
They
Because
probably thought that Ali was going to probably beat him, but they wanted Ali to have because didn't Ali just have he should have lost, but just had a tough battle against Shavers just before he fought Spinks?
yeah, but he was already shot by that time.
Yeah, yes, but I'm saying like Leon Spinks, the latest Olympic champion, he really wouldn't be ready for Ali
Yeah,
yet.
right.
So
Right.
that would be a good win, a good safe fight for Ali. Then Ali fucked
Yeah.
around and lost.
Two
But
words.
then,
Two words. Don King.
yeah.
There you go.
And
Right,
then
let-
Anyway,
won.
where did Nathan go?
I'm here. I'm here.
Where do you want to go with this now, Nathan?
So I just wanted to say what a good career he had, but the ending of his career wasn't so great. But he will be remembered. He will be remembered fondly. But he was a wasted talent in my view. Was Leon?
He was thrown to the wolves.
And he had the drug issues too. So
Yeah, too
I
bad.
do feel bad for him. Right. On Friday, Tony Yoka will be fighting Joel Tamboy Dzeko for the EB European Union Heavyweight title, which is the secondary belt to the European Heavyweight title. And this he should win this quite comfortably.
Yoka should win.
Yeah, very comfortably.
Yeah, I believe Yoka will win that one. What do you think, Spencer?
yeah, I think so too. I mean, he should win this one.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think that Pacquiao is going to fight Garcia?
Yep.
Wow, that'll be
I
a
think
good
they was trying to hold that under wraps, and Mikey let the cat out the bag because they had the news. Canelo was going to fight Saunders. They didn't want to release it during that time because the Canelo news was going to overtake it. Let Canelo's news of him fighting Saunders go away. I don't know if Taylor versus Ramirez is really big news, but the Canelo Saunders news, once that dies down, then we talk about Mikey versus Pacquiao. Mikey versus Pacquiao I don't know if it's going to outsell Canelo because of the type of platforms they're going to be on, the different type of platforms. Canelo going to be on DAZN and Mikey Pacquiao going to be on the pay-per-view. So I don't know how you would fairly compare the two.
Well, Manny wants 20 million, doesn't he?
I mean, he might get that with a Mikey fight.
We'll see.
Because Mikey Mexican, they got a lot of backing.
Yeah.
And Mikey, they might think that Mikey could possibly beat Manny. So
well, I don't know. He doesn't have the same movement as Manny, but he does have a beautiful right hand and very solid fundamentals.
Right. So yeah, he could maybe time Manny. Manny's been out the ring close to what, 2 years now?
Yeah, but see, Manny's not going to want to come down to 140 for this because he's going to come up to 147, and it's going to slow him down a little bit.
Mikey, right? Yeah, that's the only thing. See, the it's a couple of things. It's the inactivity that you might worry with Pacquiao, but the inactivity could help him. Him having a rest. He has a significant enough rest that his body could have recovered from whatever he dealt with. But could he get back to that level? We'll see. May is going to be a cracking month.
Yeah.
They're gonna have Mikey, Manny, Canelo Saunders, Taylor Ramirez. There's another
what about that fight? What do you think about that, Nathan? Taylor and Ramirez.
I think Taylor wins comfortably.
Yeah. I don't know. Josh been having bad luck with Mexicans or Spanish speakers. Like Warrington lost.
Josh has got to be. The Joshes are not doing well with that.
Yeah, Kelly lost to a Spaniard.
You'll see.
Anthony Joshua lost to a Mexican.
They got to start having some salsa, some hot salsa,
Yeah.
Put it in their diet, man. Get their blood hot.
Listen, I know we talked about it, but we didn't really talk about it long enough. Clarissa Shields is fighting this weekend, and I'm really upset at the lack of love that she gets.
Thanks for bringing us back to that, because I agree with you. She's great, in terms of women fighters. She's not impressive as a knockout artist, in my opinion, and that's maybe why. But as a pure boxer, she's great.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we want her to see, I guess we want to see the women do what men do. But like, she's a great spokesman for the sport. She speaks out on what, I don't think that women and men should get equal pay, but she speaks out on the opportunities that women are not getting. Like, she thinks that women should get more opportunities. And if they get more opportunities, then possibly their pay will increase, or their pay should increase, because there'll be more opportunities. So, they got a lot of people out, like I was saying earlier, in the UK that really are kind of hating on her. She says she cocky and all this other stuff. And they talking about she's running from Savannah Marshall. I'm like, yo, Savannah Marshall beat her.
I'll tell you what I think the real reason. And you're not going to like the reason I'm going to say. Britain is not as accepting of certain fighters as you guys are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Well, what do you mean by certain? Could you be more specific? What certain?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what Britain.
She uses cocoa butter, Tom.
What happened to Marvin Hagler when he came to Scotland?
Wait a minute, Nathan. Is it because she's a woman that they don't accept women fighters over there?
I think it is, yeah.
And you think that's it? Because Katie Taylor, I was about to say, Katie Taylor getting a lot of love. Savannah Marshall gets love. And I guess I could confirm this, because Nicola Adams don't get that much love, and she's
she did have a PR problem when one of the guys, I think it was her brother, cold-cocked her opponent's trainer and injured him very badly, put him in the hospital.
No, listen, I agree. What's up with that Flint stuff? Because wasn't Darrell's uncle doing the same type of thing to who's Katagay in the ring? Like sucker punched him or something?
I think the real reason is I think my country is very racist towards black American fighters, and it always has been. Look, it was like that with Ali. It's just the way it is. That's the way it's always come. Look at how much he had cans thrown.
I don't understand. They have a black heavyweight champion great a history of great black fighters. Have they been racist against those fighters?
Yeah, of course they have. Yeah, in the past.
Listen, Tom. Listen to me. AJ was the shit when Tyson Fury left, but as soon as Tyson Fury came back, Tyson Fury gonna whip AJ ass. AJ talk about when he did the Black Lives Matter speech or whatever that speech was, them people was like, he racist, and what he talk about buying black, he a racist guy. I hope Tyson Fury whip his racist ass. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me that they saying this.
Because I remember the days of Chris Eubank and the other guy was a super middleweight who was devastating, who injured McClellan.
Not you talking about Ben and Eubank, but then once Calzaghe and them boys came around, Calzaghe and them has been the best thing since Calzaghe's the best super middleweight ever coming out of UK.
So it's a double whammy. You're American and you're black. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, so basically, in England, if you're black and you act a certain way, they kind of hold against. They're a bit petty in our country. I'm going to be honest. My country is full of idiots and bigots. I hate to admit it, but I'm being honest. We're not as open-minded.
Well, we got our share of idiots here.
I'm about to say, your country is not alone in that.
And we have a lot more people here, so the ratio was a bit higher.
And we have so many different forms over here. You have blatant. You have the blatant in your face. You have the behind your back. You have the I'm your friend, but not really. Anyway,
and in Hollywood we have let's have lunch.
Yes. Oh man.
Right, let's move on.
All right, Nathan, where do you want to go? We only have a few minutes left.
4.5 minutes left. Not Adrian Broner.
Real quick, Adrian Broner, Austin Trout. You think that fight happened?
Andy Ruiz, yeah. I don't think it will. No,
not
at all.
Okay. Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola is a pay-per-view. I guess for Mexicans. I looked at the card. I'm like, it's a tough ask for me. I'd rather spend my $29.99 to watch Clarissa tomorrow than watch that fight for $75. You gotta be kidding me. That's a lot to ask for some $75.
But to be honest, Ruiz, I like watching Ruiz fight. I think he's a good fighter.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, it's going to be an exciting fight. Don't get me wrong. Ruiz versus Arreola is going to be an exciting fight. And if you want to go on just value of fight, it might be worth.
Yeah, they're going to give a but. Do you think that Arreola is going to cry when he loses?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
He might, but he's going. But if Arreola comes into shape, who did he fight that he was looking real good? Molina? Was it Molina?
Yeah.
He looked trim for that.
Yeah, he looked really slim for that one. And Ruiz is slim on this one. If they both look like, if Ruiz looks like he's looking in these pictures I'm seeing online, and Arreola looked like he did against Molina, it'll be an interesting fight.
Well, they could pose for a calendar when the fight's done.
Well, with Arreola, I remember the old Arreola that beat, what was his name? Guy who lost, I can't remember his bloody name. He beat Sheldon Briggs one time. What was his name?
I got you.
You know who I mean? But he beat him, and then he lost to Klitschko. His name was Jamil McCartan. Jamil McCartan.
Right.
Okay.
He also lost to what's his name, the former heavyweight champion who done
Klitschko.
What?
Klitschko.
No. The guy from Jamaica that got knocked out. Stavern. Yeah, he lost to Stavern.
Twice.
Right. Got knocked out twice.
Broke his nose the second time.
Yeah, that's how Stavern got the title.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do now? You want to
2 minutes left, so we might as well pack up. Say one more thing, and then.
What was the There was some other shit on the thing. Well, like I said, I hope Clarissa Shields unifies tomorrow.
Well, that would be great if she does. I'd like to see it, and I want to see Lovejoy in action soon.
Oh God,
Lovejoy versus Ustinov.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
He's calling himself the greatest heavyweight ever. 19-0,
Yeah.
90 knockout.
I'm a believer.
Lovejoy.
And then we have the Bob Arum, old man thing.
Yo, Bob Arum with Teofimo Lopez, like Bob Arum is going crazy.
I know.
I mean, Jamel Herod hit me because I had asked him a question. I'm like, can he really, like, can't he just?
We've got 30 seconds left.
Since he's undisputed, can Tio just like push for his mandatories?
No.
He's like, yeah, he can. But
We've run out of time.
Anyway, I'm out.
We're nearly running out of time.
All right, let's see that video.
We're running out of time. We've run out of time.
All right, later.
Later.
Yeah.